So I just played the Pikmin 4 demo. My voice is very hoarse. In fact, I might even need some water, because I was screaming a lot while playing it. Somehow even more than I thought I was going to be screaming. But I just stopped. I could have kept playing. It was weirdly way longer than I expected it to be. I guess they just really want to give people a good try, at the series to help it sell better. But man, it just kept going. And I swear the demo, they said it was like, the first day, and then you're done. But I made it to the second day. I even got some upgrades, and I was just like, you know what? I have had a really, really good feeling. I feel like if I play any more, then it's just going to be even harder when it does end, and I have to wait a month. So I just said, no, I'm done for now. I couldn't do it anymore. I was like, this is just hard. Not to, Anyway, so they finally released the demo. I've been waiting all day and all of last night, and it was somehow really worth it. Like, I honestly don't regret that wait now, like, at all. Man, it genuinely, okay, I've become a really big Pikmin fan in the last, 6 or 8 months. It's hard to tell. I've always liked Pikmin. I played Pikmin 3 back in 2019. I've always liked them, but just something about them really started to click with me, and they've now become like one of my favorite things in the whole wide world. So my hype for 4 has been astronomical. It's honestly the most I've been excited for a new game, just because it feels like everything they've shown just makes it keep looking better, which is so exciting. And now we have the demo, and I can honestly say that was one of the best things I think I've ever played. Of course, there might, be minor flaws. There always is at anything. Nothing's perfect. But as far as what it made me feel and what I took away from it, it was pure bliss. It was a pure, pure bliss that I don't even know. I kind of had that with Zelda too, but just something about this, it's just so, I don't know. So I just want to talk about it, or at least the bits I played. So to start with, the demo started with a massive surprise. That probably shouldn't have been a surprise now that I'm thinking about it, but it was, which is that it has a prologue. It has kind of a prologue tutorial, which 3 did. 3 had this little bit where you start playing as Charlie, and you get yellow Pikmin, and you kind of learn just basic, throwing and gathering, and then after that you play as Elf, and that's when you get, the main game, the main, sprouting, collecting Pikmin. And this game does that as well, but they did it 100,000 times cooler. This time you actually start as Olimar inside the big house with the bad Ochi that we saw in the trailer, which does confirm that's 100% bad Olimar, but I'm not going to go into that. That's for other people. I'm not going into that just yet. But yeah, you start as Olimar, and while it was a very basic sequence, it's just explaining how you move the camera, how you collect Pikmin. Very, very simple. It communicated so much, I feel. Like, it just felt so man, this is going to be big. Not a big, I don't know if it's going to sell well, but, just the scope of this game, I don't know, it just felt so man, because it kind of did the Metroid Prime thing, where I feel like they wanted to showcase some of the cooler stuff first, and then have that be the thing you're working up towards. So when you're in the more slower first parts, you can think eventually I'm going to be in that big house with a big dog and Olimar, and it really, really communicated that, I think, really well. And now I'm just so hyped to go there and to see the stuff, because it was amazing. And oh my gosh, the game is just gorgeous, beyond belief. To anyone who thinks the art style or the look is a downgrade from 3, which even I might have at first, it is not. It is 100% not. It's not as nature focused as 3 was. There's less of a focus on that kind of raw, foresty nature, and it's much more, it's much more popular. You see a lot more human-made objects, a lot more kind of plasticky objects, but man, it is just so gorgeous. I don't know, man. Pikmin 3 already looked gorgeous, minus some rough textures and maybe you know, it could have some better lighting, and then this is just, like, I don't know, like, I know it's not the most graphically intensive game ever made, but it conveyed so much of that Pikmin feel, more than I thought it would. Like, it just, you know, it's just playing it, it's just, yeah, this is Pikmin, this is so Pikmin, this is a Pikmin in 2023, and it feels like it feels big, it feels new, it feels modern, it just feels so good to look at and see, and I just love it, and all the animations are so good. There's all these little new animations and nuances that they added. Like, I love how now when you squish a small Bulborb, like, he doesn't just squish, like, his eyes roll around, he looks like he's dazed, and there's, like, all these little details now like that, and it's just amazing. It looks so good, and, I don't know, you know, I don't know, it's just crazy. I don't know how they made it look this good on the Nintendo Switch. It looks like a PS4 game, honestly. Like, it just looks amazing, and it runs perfectly too. It's just so good. But yeah, but you start, after that though, you then get to make your own character, and that was certainly very fun. I didn't get to dabble in it a ton, just because I wanted to, you know, I wanted to get on that gameplay. I wanted to get some Pikmin, but it looks very, very fun. It's not the most complex character creator, but it's definitely a fun one. You can make some funny, wacky characters. I really like that they include different body types. I think that's really great, just because Pikmin games have had kind of a wide variety, so I think it's cool you can pick them. I picked a big burly guy, and I don't know if this is exclusive to him, but I love how their arms now flail around when they run. Like, as I was running with my guy, his arms were just, like, completely out and just flailing, and I thought that was so fun, and, maybe that's across all the characters, I don't know, but I really like that. So that was really great. So yeah, so you make your character, and then you go down, and you go to a cave, and you meet some of the new characters. I'm not completely sold yet on the new characters, but that's okay, honestly. You know, for one, it's just the first hour of this game. There's plenty of time for these characters to maybe grow on me, or to have some interesting development. Already, like, some of them have some interesting backstory stuff that I wasn't expecting. Like, the leader, like, they gave this whole backstory, like, she was saved by, like, a Ochi dog, and that's why she's, like, committed to them. And, you know, it's like a small thing, but it's like, you know, that's cool. You don't usually get that in Nintendo games, so I'm like, yeah. And there's plenty of time for the other characters to get that, too. But, yeah, I will say, though, they do talk quite a bit, mainly tutorializing stuff, which is fair. Nintendo wants this to be people's first Pikmin game. Pikmin has never sold well, it's not a huge franchise, it makes sense to reintroduce some of these concepts to new people. I completely understand it. That being said, as a very big Pikmin veteran, it's a little annoying. There were some bits where I was just like, shut up, Colin, I want to just play, I want to get some Pikmin, but luckily they don't intrude that much, and once kind of you get to like the main big first area, they were practically silent for most of it, so I was like, cool. But no, they'll probably grow on me. It's just, you know, it's just one of those things where when you start, you want to go. And honestly, like, by the end of the demo, I kind of started skipping some of their dialogue just because I was like, you know, I'm going to play it anyway. I'll read it then. And yeah, and I was just so excited just to get to that gameplay. Which, speaking of which, the main Pikmin gameplay, throwing in, you know, doing Pikmin, Dandori, as they're calling it. I'm still not into the whole Dandori thing. I think that's weird. I don't think that was necessary. But anyway, you know, the main Pikmin gameplay. It feels really, really good. You know, 3 kind of, like, perfected, I feel, like, Pikmin as it was. You know, just the act of just simply throwing and attacking and collecting. It just felt so right in that game. In this game, it goes for something a little bit differently feeling, but I think it still works really well, and it actually does some stuff better than 3. The targeting now is a lot different, so you can't really, like, free target anymore. Everything kind of locks on, which at first I wasn't sure about, but it proved to be quite convenient. I think the targeting system works really, really well, and something that I really liked was that if you're around multiple enemies and you just keep pressing A, they'll naturally target to each one. Which made dealing with those, like, tiny, like, sheer grub things so much easier than it was in 3. Like, I was just playing 3 the other day, and they are still some of the, like, most irritating enemies in that game, and in this one, it was such a breeze. Like, you just tap A, and it just locks to each one, and it's very, very convenient. And I really like, too, how with bigger enemies you can, or just, I think any enemy, but, you know, particularly bigger ones, you can lock on and then move freely while it's targeted, which feels really, really great, and I think will particularly be great in boss fights. Sadly, maybe there was. I might not have gotten to that part, but as far as I can tell, there's no boss fights in the demo. But I can already tell, like, boss fights are really going to be improved with this, and that's very, very exciting. So it feels really, really good. I don't know yet if it's better or worse than 3, really. It's too early to say, but at the very least, it's good that it still feels really good. Because I think with the new, with the new camera angle and Miyamoto talking about new controls and, new features, there was that concern, like, what if they mess up the basic fundamentals? And they definitely have not. The basic fundamentals are there, they feel great, and everything works well. And the new camera, which, okay, why the heck did they not say this in any of the trailers? So, people have been a little bit scared about the new camera, which makes sense. We've had one similar one for 3 games, and now suddenly they're changing it. It's a little bit concerning, but, it also came with good promises. You could just straight up have, like, the old camera. Like, you just press down on the stick, or up, or whatever it was on mine, might have been inverted, and it's just like old Pikmin. It's like top down, and you can even go, like, super top down. Why would they not show that in any of the trailers? The marketing for Pikmin 4, I gotta say, has not been the greatest. I don't think any Nintendo games had great marketing, but Pikmin 4 has been a little hit and miss, and that is such a weird thing to admit, because I feel like that would rest so many people's concerns, because it's like, yes, there is a new camera, it makes things look bigger, it makes some fights more dynamic, but if you do prefer the old style, boom, you just do it, and it's there. And I think that's great. I love that that's there. It's just so weird they wouldn't say it. And then I found out this way. It's so bizarre, but hey, it was a nice surprise. I was like, super, I could just make it like the old ones. That's super cool. But I mostly stuck to the new camera, and overall, I thought it worked great. I didn't have any real issues with the new camera, especially with how the new locking system works. I think it works pretty good, and it does, I think, convey a new sense of scale that the old one didn't, because that's the main point. It's to make it so you feel smaller and other things feel bigger, and it definitely helps with that. Like, there was points in the main level where, yeah, the world just felt huge in a way that previous Pikmin games didn't quite, like... I mean, they could feel really big in old Pikmin games, but not in that same sort of way. So, I think it is really worth trying the new camera. And I'm excited to see what other uses they find for it in later levels. As far as some other things, so far caves seem really good. I was pretty skeptical of caves coming back just because, I didn't really like them as much in 2. I felt like 2 was really padded. It had a lot of great ideas too, but it's overall my least favorite, and they definitely fixed that issue, because caves now have a lot of useful things in them, which, I mean, they always have, but I feel like playing this, I can already tell, like, yeah, these are really worth doing. These aren't padding, these aren't overly long, these are worth doing with good rewards, and that's a really good feeling. In fact, nothing in the game feels padded. I can already, like, it feels like it's gonna be as long as maybe Pikmin 2, or maybe just a little bit shorter, but nothing about the game feels padded, which is super great, because that's, like, the last thing I want in a Pikmin game. That's why I didn't really like 2 that much. I like more concentrated design. It can be long, I just want it to be long with stuff that's worth doing, and already 4 seems like it is, which is very exciting. Well, I'm running out of voice, you can tell. But yeah, so far, that all seems really good. Man, what else was there in the demo? I know there's a Dandori battle thing, but I actually haven't tried it yet. I'm probably gonna do that after recording this. I don't know, if it's worth saying, I'll leave a comment of my thoughts on the Dandori battle. But yeah, overall, I feel exhausted. I feel emotionally drained, and June 21st, or no, July 20, I wish it was June 21st, but July 21st cannot come soon enough, because this is going to be a masterpiece. I can already say, I don't know if it'll be the best Pikmin game, no idea, but I can confidently say, I think it's going to be a phenomenal, phenomenal game, and I just cannot wait to play it. So, thank you, Nintendo, for releasing the demo, even if you did a little later than I wanted, and, yeah, here's hoping I live another month. Because tonight was kind of hard. I really felt like I was going to die in that opening. I was screaming so loud when Almar showed up. I was just like, ugh, I don't know if I can make it. But I'm going to try. So thank you for watching. And yeah, we won. Pikmin fans won tonight. I don't know. I was trying to go up with a fun outro, but it's hard. Bye-bye.